EU was a great tournament today, and we actually had one of the greatest grand finals I've ever watched. Extremely entertaining and very fun to see. I will be doing NA in a different video later, so if you do subscribe to the channel, make sure you put notifications on so you don't miss the video later. We had Marius Pixie and Marius winning it out on 706 points with 4 wins. That is 1 in 3 matches. They got $60,000 each, and Marius and Pixie had not won it before, so this is their first time as FNCS champions. Vanyak is obviously a little bit more experienced, but that's why he's the IGL. In other news, Marius was the first ever Denmark person to win a FNCS, so big well done to him. They were second after day 1, and they had a pretty solid day 2 as well. With Uncon Flooded Frogs, they ended up jumping up to the first place. It did get a little bit scuffed at the end, but they still managed to pull it out. In second place, we had Tino, Pablo Wingo and Fredoxy, a full Danish team. Very cool. They were 40 points off with 1 win in 12 matches. Now, I personally did not expect this team to be as high as all, but they had Uncon Mask Meadows, and Fredoxy is an insane spawn fighter, so no one wanted to contest him, and they ended up jumping up a spot from day 1. They were third in day 1, they moved to second. Their big game was a 17 kill win in day 2 that really popped them back up to that winning position. They were actually winning the entire day 2 apart from the last 2 games. Super unfortunate, but this is the first time this team's ever placed in the top 10, so we can give them a bit of a break. In third, we have Pix, Dam and Demus. Now this is a comeback. They were in 15th place in day 1 and they were doing terrible. But something changed in day 2 and they had an absolute masterclass. Let me read you out these games. In day 2 we had a 4 kill 4th, a 9 kill 3rd, a 5 kill 4th, a 10 kill win, a 5 kill 6th and a 9 kill 2nd. That's an average kills of 7, an average placement of 3 point something. That is ridiculous. And it really does show that these guys are a force to be reckoned with. They're like a Cami and Seti with the decent placements, but also with the kills on top of that, having the joint most kills in day 2. In fourth, we had Pingwox and Malabuka, super unfortunate, and they dropped down from first after day 1 with an awful day 2. With an 130 point lead, they didn't have to do much to keep it, but they ended up getting contested by none other than Vico, Vino and Flixie. Super disappointing. They ended up going down 2 out of the first 3 games to them, and then they both went down on game 3. It was just a super interesting spawn fight, and both teams ended up getting griefed out of their FNCS win. Malabuka also didn't load in one of the games, very disappointing. This team has had a bad run of luck, let's just put it that way, and let's move on to the next one. They already qualified the LAN anyway. Swizzy, Queasy and Mustache did not have a bad day 2, it was just a little bit meh. They did not have the nice top 3s, the nice top 2s placements they were getting yesterday, and that really made it hard to push up the leaderboard anymore into that top 3. In 6th we had Vico, Vino and Flixie. They struggled a bit, but that's because they were contested. They also got a couple big games in day 2, getting a 12 kill 3rd and a 15 kill win, which really bumped them up, to be honest, because they were struggling slightly. At the end of the day, they almost ended up working out for them because they were only 20 points off Pingwox and Malabuka, despite being about 210 off in day 1. Now Vico, Vino and Flixie already qualified for LAN, as did Pingwox and Malabuka. 5 LAN spots were available, so the spots rolled down, therefore leading to 7th being the final LAN spot. Chris, Tayson and Chicho got this LAN spot. They had a really good day 2. Coming in 3rd overall in day 2 with super good placements. They landed Kappa Kappa Factory and actually got unconned because Hutty's team left. It was a little bit squeaky bum time for Tayson's team because they ended up getting contested with 1 game left and they died early on, and then they came back in the last game with an 11 kill 3rd. Tayson, the old man, has still got it. They were pulling in some absolute numbers. Thomas, Uppel and Panzer missed out on their QUALS spot for LAN. And this is disappointing. They won the last game with 10 kills, but they just couldn't form consistency in that day 2. Thomas HD did have the most damage in the entire tournament though, I believe, and props to him. What a guy. Thomas had 16,000 damage, which is actually crazy. In 9th we had Seti, Kari and Kami. Pretty good, pretty solid placement. They just can't match the teams with kills. They only got 43 kills this tournament, and this is well below everyone else who was finishing in the top 7. Pink Nebs and Kiro finished in 10th, and I Drop Sky and Scroll finished in quite disappointing 11th for them. They would have wanted higher. Mr. Savage ended up finishing in 19th with Brisnay and Vidal. They had a super disappointing tournament, all the zones pulling north, getting contested randomly. On the one game, it pulled south. Honestly, I feel for this team, but overall, what an incredible grand finals. Congratulations to Marius Pixie and Marius and all of the runner-up teams, because they all played amazingly and made this grand final so entertaining to watch. The points were very, very close, especially for the people trying to get these LAN spots. I'll be releasing NA later and a recap of NA when it happens, so make sure you subscribe to the channel with notifications on and watch this video on the screen if you want to catch up with NA day 1. Peace, I'll see you in the next one.